got a bit of a problem at the lodge this week. Everybody's been using stuff and then not replacing it. We're running out of junk. You can't have a life without junk. I'm talking about a certain kind of junk and a certain kind of life.
Hey, Red, where's all the oil drums?
Well, I locked them up, eh? It's a sad case when you gotta throw a padlock around your trash, isn't it?
Come on, Red, I just need one. I want to put all these promotional flyers in it.
Well, just throw them in the garbage can like everybody else does.
Well, you don't understand. I'm gonna throw them out of an airplane.
Well, you don't need an oil drum for that. Just fire them out the window.
Oh, no, they're spread too far, and then I'm gonna get calls from the next county. No, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put an inner tube around the oil drum, right?
Yeah.
And put a bunch of leaflets in there.
Okay.
And then I throw the whole thing out when we're flying right over Possum Lake. You know, where it's safe to drop the drum.
All right, yeah.
And as it falls, the flyers will waft on a gentle breeze and land on the property of all my potential customers. What do you think of that?
I think sewage fumes are bad for the human brain.
So can I have the oil drum?
Well, sure you can. I just need some kind of security deposit, that's all.
Okay. Tell you what, you can use the septic truck for the weekend.
Oh, I don't think so, no.
I'll throw in the hard hat and the waders, but not the bow tie.
I don't think so, no.
You know, you're standing in the way of the entrepreneurial spirit of this country. That stinks. Your attitude sucks.
Well, your truck does both of those. If a man's home is his castle, then his backyard is his trophy room. It's really a shrine to a lifetime of tinkering. Unfortunately, your wife may not see it that way, or any other way. In fact, she doesn't want to see it at all. As I always say, out of sight, out of mind, which doesn't mean that if you need glasses, you're half crazy. What it does mean that what your wife doesn't know won't hurt you. So I mounted my tarp onto the rim of my basketball hoop, got the whole thing mounted over the barbecue. Now all I have to do is fire up the grill, and we have ourselves our own disappearing trophy pile. Now you just tie off your tether line and voila, no crap for your wife to look at in the backyard. A day of reckoning is coming. A day when you're going to have to give in to your wife, your neighbors, and the local bylaws. You're going to have to clean up all that junk in your backyard. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Let me show you what I did. What you really need is a way to clean up your yard without having to throw any of your junk away. Well, you ever seen those miniature villages? You know, those places where they have famous sites from all over the world, but smaller than life size? You can do that too. The Eiffel TV Tower, the Leaning Tires of Pisa, San Francisco's Broken Gate Bridge, Toronto Sky Dump, complete with retractable roof. Oh look, it's a Willie Nelson concert. And while in Egypt, why not pause and wonder at the ancient riddle of the Sphinx? Finally, top off your journey with a visit to the ancient pyramids of Cacher Empties. Oh, they say there's a place for everything and everything in its place. Here we are out by the main highway at the everything place, Dalton Humphrey's store. Dalton people might drive by this place and assume that it was a junkyard.
Well, you know, Red, one man's junk is another man's objet d'art. Now, what do you think this is, huh?
I would call that scrap metal.
Yeah, to you and me, maybe, but to someone from the city, that's a precious little decorator accent that just oozes charm and history. $30 worth of charm and history.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Imagine what you'd get if you fixed it and painted her. Hey, why don't you drop this by the lodge later on? We'll slap a coat of paint on that while we're doing our cars.
That's a lot of work there. You know, you just can't paint metal. You gotta scrape all the rust off. You want to do that with your cars, too, otherwise the rust just comes right through.
Oh, man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, see, I'm not gonna do it to that piece, because that would ruin its value. It has to be in unrestored condition.
This is how Dalton gets people from the city to come up here and give them all kinds of money for junk.
You know, I know every item in my inventory. I know what it costs, I know where it is. And a customer asks, I know what to show them, what to charge for them, and how to keep a straight face. You know, you're trying to sell a guy a broken shovel for $60. I mean, you try not to laugh, huh? Pick something out outside, I'll show you.
Oh, here we go. There. How about that?
Well, sir, you certainly have an eye for quality. This is an antique handmade wooden sled. Red rock. Made in Stoke-on-Trent, England in 1890-91 and imported by the Smithersby Toy Company of Winnipeg. This is the deluxe model, I believe. Very rare and much admired by the cognoscenti.
Well, where are the runners? Where's the handle? Where's the back? Where's the sled?
This is in original, unrestored condition, and at an auction, this would fetch upwards of $5,000. I'm willing to let it go for you for $3,000.
3,000?
Yeah, I should have said. I'm laughing. Let me try this. Let me try it again.
You know, every once in a while, your wife will let you know that it's time to get rid of some of your junk. You'll know the time because it starts to get cold. Your meals are cold, your bed is cold, and every time she looks at you, the furnace kicks on. That's when you know it's time to clean out the storage shed. Now, I suppose you could just throw this stuff into a ravine or whatever, but is that what a responsible person does? Not according to the cops. No. Today's handyman gets rid of his junk by turning it into something useful. Your wife can relate. It's basically what she did with you. All right, let's see what we got here. Chair with no legs. Got a lawnmower missing the front wheels. Got a chunk of an extension ladder and a kid's bike. I should be able to make something out of this. If at first you don't succeed, use more duct tape. Junk? I don't see any junk. I see a top fuel elimination rail dragster. Okay, maybe we don't have the short block 350 Chevy with the dual quads and headers on there, but a lawnmower engine does one thing just as good as any V8. It makes a lot of noise, especially if we deinstall the muffler. Stick in a low back pressure funnel unit in there. Anyway, the real secret is fuel. Yeah, I put a gallon of stuff in left over from Junior's Stag. I'm not sure what it is, but if it goes through that engine as fast as it went through Junior, we'll be looking at a land speed record. A chair with no legs makes a perfect seat, and a lawnmower handle makes a perfect steering wheel. Because it's a dragster, you don't steer it anyway. I got all the controls at my fingertips, ignition, throttle, and mulch. So I'm basically ready to go. So remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta burn some serious rubber. This is one of those moments I don't enjoy, but it's gotta be done. If you're about my age and attitude, you may have a habit that borders on addiction. You may, in fact, be a junkie. I'm talking about all that crap that you've collected over all those years that you think you may get around to using someday. You know, the drums and rotors from when you did your very own brake job on your first car. Those pieces of broken fence that are a direct result of that brake job. That pile of old windows you got down the cellar that no longer fit any orifice in your world. It's time to face the awful truth. If you haven't been able to put your car in the garage since 1987, that's not good. If you have more than 75 jars of liquid that you can't identify, you may have a problem. If you can't use your bathtub because it's full of beer bottle caps and broken toasters, well, you may be just one box of left shoes away from living alone with 40 or 50 cats. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not a nut bar, I'm just frugal. But at our age, we're running out of time to use all that junk. And after you're gone, the last thing you want is a bunch of relatives rummaging through your estate deciding who gets the hubcaps. So I'm telling you, my friend, you gotta get rid of that junk right now. Do it today. But wait till I get there. There might be something I could use. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Well, we heard back from the government on our provincial park application. They're going to send an inspector in 3 days to have a look at the place. Actually, the whole town is pretty darn supportive. As soon as they find that we may tear the lodge down, boy, they're all for it.
Hey, Red, you wanted to see us?
Yeah, I need you to go out there and just clean up the property around the lodge before the inspector gets here.
All right, Clay, we'll just throw all the junk in the lake then.
No, don't throw all of it in, because as the water gets up too high, the boats will sink.
Right, okay.
What is these inspectors going to look at? I mean, will they be inspecting our persons?
I don't know. Let's go.
Oh, okay, what about those holes that look like something has just been buried recently? I'm just asking.
It's not a scavenger hunt, Mike, okay? They're going to look at the buildings, the property, and the lake. Okay, so where you go?
Come on, Mike, come on.
Where you go?
Okay, will they be checking the vehicles?
Well, they may. If you got something in your vehicle, maybe you should just stash it somewhere for a while.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, great.
I put it in the back of your van.
Uncle Red, we got a bit of a wrinkle.
What?
Yeah, the guy from the government says the only approved place is where families go, and this is, a bit of a men's lodge.
Okay, fine, okay. Here's what we do. Okay, the town is behind us,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Okay, so you tell all the women and the children to be here on inspection day, okay?
You're okay with that?
Yeah, tell them not to touch anything.
They won't want to touch anything, don't worry.
Man, coffee all over me. And you know why? Because of the coffee cup holder. It can't adapt to the irregularities in my driving pattern, so every time I swerve, I'm hanging 10 in a wave of caffeine. Now I suppose I could wait until the automotive engineers come up with a solution, but you can probably tell by looking at me that I don't have that kind of patience or time. So instead, allow me to present the red-green dynamic gimbal-mounted spill-proof coffee cup holder. It's a simple design, really. I just attached a bicycle pedal to the steering wheel. That makes a flexible mount. The cup holder itself is the roll of the handyman's secret weapon. And then the counterweight for the unit is a small trophy that I won at a yard sale for being the first one to offer them a quarter. Now, no matter which way I turn the wheel, the cup stays level. Is that brilliant or what? You know, sometimes I think I'm just wasting my time here. Well, I'm wasting somebody's time.
And now it's part of the show where we expose the 3 words men have such a hard time saying. I don't know. And here to prove the point on the expert section of the show, of course, is my Uncle Red and his good friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Letter number 1. Dear experts, last week my husband decided to save money by doing some car repairs himself. When he was done, our car was ruined. After they towed our 64 Valiant off to the junkyard, I found this lying in our driveway. Can you tell me what it is?
Wow, sure. That's a distributor cap. Obviously. Hey, everybody knows that, don't they, Harold?
Oh, yeah, that's a distributor cap right there. That's what that is, obviously.
Distributor cap, if only, Red. Lady, this is a prototype for a top-secret weapon developed by the Pentagon during the Nixon years called used to be written on here. Octopus Magneto Torpedo.
Well, I knew it wasn't a regular disrupticator cap.
That's a deadly weapon, Harold. In the water, all 6 arms fly out, so it looks like an octopus, and all 6 highly explosive charges magnetically attach themselves to the hull of the enemy submarine and explode, breaching the hull and sinking the sub.
That's a robo-octo...
Puss. Magneto covered.
Oh, yeah? Well, how come the robo-octopus thing says Valiant?
It's just a code name, Valiant.
What about the spark plug, or sorry, what about the explosive charges? AC Delco.
AC. Anti-submarine charge. And, Delco, any 5-year-old. Delco, short for delivery container. Anti-submarine charge delivery container. Anyway, they didn't end up using it. The Pentagon doubted that it would work.
Yeah, doubt is a powerful thing, isn't it, huh? It's Saturday afternoon, and you have spent the last 5 minutes aligning the lumps in the couch with the dents in your reclining body as you settle down for an afternoon with the 3 alls: alcohol, cholesterol, football.
Then the little missus comes in. As Ron Paul would say, she who must be okayed, eh? And she's got rearranging the furniture on her mind, which involves you in a big way.
All right, you might possibly have a negative reaction to this, but I think it might be time to look at it in a more mature way.
Yeah, like, you're probably gonna say, no, the room looks fine, eh? When really you just want to get back to watching the game. So she leaves the room.
Okay, this is a trap.
It's a real catch-23.
Yeah, because she knows the room looks bad. She was going to try and fix it the cheap way by just rearranging the junk you have to cover the dents and stains and holes.
But now that you have refused, she is legally entitled to go out and buy new stuff, eh? So suddenly this is going to be the most expensive football game you never even went to.
Yeah, luckily you can solve the problem with an ounce of prevention, all right? Take a few hours, spend a few bucks, put everything you own on casters.
Oh, yeah. Now you can whip the stuff around there real easily, real quickly, in about the same duration as, like, a half-time show, eh?
That's right. You can just move that crap around for 20 years before you have to buy anything new.
One caution, though. Make sure the floor's level. Otherwise, you go lay down on that couch to watch TV, you're going to go rolling right down the basement stairs, followed by the dinette set in the entertainment center.
And your wife may not even miss you.
But she will miss the couch.
Well, everybody painting their car up at the lodge this week. I thought I'd take Handyman Corner and show you how you can prevent your car from aging, weathering, rusting, and generally looking filthy all the time by showing you how to build a self-contained, automatic power washer that'll keep your car continuously clean. All right, now the first thing you're gonna need to make this unit are some sprinklers. I would recommend you use sprinklers. And you know, you can get sprinklers pretty cheap from your neighbor's lawn while they're in bed. Now what you want to do is to mount these various sprinklers right onto the vehicle. You can use rivets for that, or you can weld them on there. Or if you work for the government, you probably have time to sit and magnetize them. But I'm going to use the handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. Now you're going to need a source of water, one that moves along with the car, because this is a mobile wash, isn't it? And you know, we have a source just like that right here. The water pump and radiator. Now, if we could just think of a way to tap into them. There we go. All right, let's give our mobile car wash a try. See, okay. We don't have an unlimited supply of water here. You didn't think of that, did you? You know. So what we have to do is we have to, of course, recycle. We have to recycle the water in the system by recycling it. And here's what you have to do to solve that one. You got to measure the exact perimeter of the whole car, and then you get exactly that same length in eavesdropping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Perfect. Real glad I didn't use rivets or bolts when I put this up last year. Now we'll get this down and we'll hook this all up to the car, right around the whole outside of her, using rivets or bolts, or, that's right, nothing lasts forever except an Italian wedding. Now, this might take me a while to get her all down and hooked up, so why don't we get back to the show and I'll come and find you when I got her all done. And I got our whole mobile car wash unit all hooked up here. It looks pretty good. I think got the eavesdrop running right around the whole outside of the car, which collects all the water, and then I got this pipe here to suck her up and take her back into the water pump. So she is now 100% self-contained. And here's another little rig. I had it all on my own. This hose running up over the top here, got some holes cut in there, because I'm saying to myself, heck, if you're washing your car anyway, why not give her a hot wax? Let the hot exhaust coming out of the pipe here into the jar of car wax, and then she sucked up this pipe, goes up over the car, comes up little holes in a fine mist all over the car, protecting the finish. Let's give her a try. Now. All right, sprinklers off. Hot wax on. So remember, the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. You know, everybody in the whole Possum Lake area really loves a parade. We used to have them every month, and then the one-man band got married, and his wife won't let him wear the cymbals on his knees anymore. So this week on Handyman Corner, I'm going to show you how to turn this car into one of those calliopes, you know, a parade float pipe organ. Yeah, you know, an all-in-one mobile party music machine. Okay, first thing I got to do is sort through this pile of pipes and find ones that make the right note. All right, that's a B. Better make that a B flat. Yeah. Luckily, I got a good ear, so I only had to test 25 pipes to get my 8-note scale. And don't worry, I didn't inhale. Now, we can't just have these pipes coming out of the hood any old way. It's not enough to sound good. You have to also look good. Nope. Great. Me. Okay, now I got these pipes hooked up as exhaust headers on each of my 8 cylinders, so when that spark plug fires, it sounds that note. All I gotta do now is open the hood and hook up the distributor cap to this little keyboard here. You know, I'm just as glad that I had that little setback with the hood there, because it gave me the idea of putting a manual choke on this thing, which I can use as kind of a tremolo control. It's quite affecting the amount of gas going to the engine. I can make the pitch and tone go up and down on the various notes, which I've connected, by the way, to my keyboard. All the spark plug wires come in here, so when I press on middle C, it only sends a spark to that cylinder. Okay, now all I gotta do is add my rhythm section. I call them hubcap maracas. Kind of like a Rolling Stones road tour. That's what I call a tune-up. So remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy. We're all meeting up there on the hill. Walter had his little soapbox going, and I brought mine in, the road hog, I like to call that. And boy, Winston had a real super. He's got money, you know, you can tell. And then Dalton. Oh, look at this. Look at this rig. Check this one out. Oh man. Oh baby. Oh, 2, 3, go! And away, and Winston just off like a rocket. I don't have the expensive suspension. He can really move in that thing. I'm coming. I'm gaining. Oh, well, Dalton's got some problems. Start your engines there, Dalton. And Winston's doing fine. Now he's cruising down real good. Oh, log. Whoa. No, he's fine. Good. Oh, boy. Okay, so Winston won that. Walter came in second, and I was a... Oh, that's gotta hurt, huh? All right, I got an idea. Let's have a rematch here. That's not fair. You got the expensive cart. We got an idea. It'd be Winston, but it'll be Winston against the whole bunch of us. So he's got his cart. We kind of took all our carts and put them together into a beauty. Look at that. Now you're talking. All right, smart guy. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and we're off. Heave ho! There we go. Away go the oars. Okay, now it takes a little while. We got a little more weight, but once we get to turn this, no.